Hey folks, welcome back to Resilient Building Cooperative Talk. I'm Matthew Andrews, and it has been a very busy fourth quarter. I had hoped to make more videos, but I'm glad I'm taking a moment here just to get something in before the end of the year. I actually went back and watched my third quarter report, and that was really helpful actually, just to myself. See what what I was thinking about back then, what I was planning on. I can kind of see, oh yeah, that went well, that's still going well, or that's a loose end. So I hope to keep making videos. Things are really going well. I'm actually recording now off of my laptop. I don't have my fancy speaker, so hopefully the sound quality still comes through okay. I'm in Guatemala with my wife, and we're visiting her family. We're going to be down here for 3 weeks, not just for Christmas and New Year's, but she's got a best friend having a wedding. So that's one really great thing about being your own boss, is you can just decide to take time if you want. Also, this work, a lot of it I can actually do online. Maybe that's something I should talk about actually, is just how to make a trip work, doing this kind of work, because you do have to do inspections, an initial inspection, installation inspection, and a final inspection. And it's really good. I always try to be at all three of those in person. There were some COVID rules where people were doing things remotely. You can still technically do an installation inspection for Mass Save and ResNet code requirements remotely, if you just get somebody to go who can be there to take a ton of photos. I don't really like to do that. I always try to encourage my clients to get a blower door test during the installation inspection. So if there are leaks, we can actually find them. Sometimes installation looks great and there are still leaks. I was at a client's house before I left, and she said, oh, the building inspector was just here and she said the installation looks great. So I looked around, I was like, yeah, looks great, but let's put it to the test. And I found leaks, things that you can't see with the naked eye. And in fact, and sometimes you see things that do look like cracks and you think maybe that's a leak. You run the blower door test, you put your hand there, you feel nothing. It's air sealed back there somewhere and you just can't see it. Other places, maybe there's framing in the way and the insulation is behind it and it looks okay, but you can't really tell. You run the blower door test and suddenly you realize, an entire joint in the framing is leaking air. And that's the time to fix it. I don't want to come back at the end of a job and just say, oh, sorry, somebody did a bad job here on your project and now, you're stuck with it. So, I always like to be there. I always want to be present for those inspections. And the installation inspection is really the only one that's time critical in terms of when you get it done. I mean, obviously initial inspection, you want to do it before demolition. Final inspection is just about kind of getting the ball rolling to get that final check, that rebate check in. But the installation inspection is kind of like, usually as soon as installation is done, people want to put up drywall. So, and of course that covers the work they just did, putting in the insulation. So you got to be there right at that moment between installation guys walking out and drywall guys walking in to get that inspection done. So I've got one that I have somebody else helping me with while I'm away. I'm doing modeling work with my computer. I brought some, all my stuff is pretty much online. I use Dropbox and Google Drive. Google Drive is for photos, and Dropbox is kind of like for documents and files. So it's really been nice being able to do that remotely. In terms of the business, things have been going well. I think I mentioned last time that I was thinking about paying off credit card debts, so I did that. I actually bought a new piece of equipment, very expensive piece of equipment, the DG1000 manometer. It's really the brains behind the blower door test, and the old ones is just kind of like buttons and LED screen, but now there's the DG1000, it's touch screen. It's really a lot more intuitive how you use it, set it up. It can you can set it up to be like its own router, so it'll talk through Wi-Fi with your computer. You don't have to run a cable connection there, so it saves a little bit of effort. And you run software on it. You can run software on it, and you can get updates for that software too. When the Energy Conservatory, that's the manufacturer, puts out updates, it'll actually update your equipment. So it's really a smart piece of equipment. I'm really happy to be using that. It gives me a little bit of a cushion too. So if one of my old ones stopped working, I could really be in trouble. Now having an extra just makes me feel a little more safe that when I go to the job site, I'm not going to be unpleasantly surprised because one of my manometers, the batteries died or something. So I was talking about giving myself a raise and paying back personal loans. I've started doing that, making a modest monthly payment to repay myself for loans I made to the company during our startup phase and during COVID. Actually loaned quite a bit of money, personal money. And so it's all, just my own books. It's nothing through a bank or anything like that. And I gave myself a modest raise because I've been paying myself very little. And we're in a good, even with all of that though, we're still in a good position now at the end of the year to pay the tax accountant who's going to prepare our taxes. That's a big expense at the beginning of the new year. The truck registration and insurance on the truck, I like to pay it. There's a little bit of an incentive to pay off the insurance all in one payment rather than monthly transactions. So I like to get that done at the beginning of the year. I just want to be prepared for those things. And I think we can do that without borrowing any money. So this last year, a year ago, it was kind of like everything is fine, but it's still hand to mouth with paying for things as soon as you get the money. And anything unexpected would have been really difficult to handle. So we're definitely in a better position. We signed a contract for another year with Good Books, the cooperative that's helping me manage the bookkeeping through QuickBooks Online. So all of that's, I guess, kind of in a nutshell, what's been going on. I remember at the end of the last video, I mentioned doing a goal setting video. I think maybe we'll have a goal setting meeting, talk about, and maybe I'll make a video about that. I think it will be a good exercise for us, and I'm hoping to get some work done on putting out the website. I'll probably do another video about that as well. Yeah, it's we're even thinking about bringing on other raters if we can, because we're finding that the limiting factor is being able to go out and do those house visits. And through my quality assurance provider, Building Efficiency Resources, they actually will help with modeling work. If you collect the information, I can pass it on to them. So then it really becomes that's because that's really the big bottleneck. A lot of times is you go and I signed up a ton of clients, and then I got days worth of office work trying to crank through it all. So I think that I took so here while I'm in Guatemala, I took my name off of actually the Mass Save list, so people would stop calling me, just so I wouldn't get those new inspections. I'll get back on the list when we come back. Another thing I thought of for taking care of before coming to Guatemala was access to my phone number is something I thought I would have that I've had trouble with. I can get text messages, but I have a second phone line that's just an app on my smartphone, and I still got to figure out if I can get phone access through that. I'm using WhatsApp here to call back home right now, and we got a new chip for the phone to make phone calls back home. But my actual work number, I need to figure out how to reroute that. Maybe I can maybe the thing to do is to reroute it to the number I have here. So call forwarding, I think I still need to do that. But yeah, we're thinking about getting a new. We're thinking we can take on more work when I get back by sending modeling work to the Bear when I need it. There's a fee involved with that, but it's worth it if I can sign up more clients, because the the overall contract and mass save incentives just make it all worthwhile. So that's it for now. I'm going to enjoy some family time. I hope everybody watching, if you see this before January 1st, Happy New Year, and let's look forward to 2024. As always, I really appreciate hearing any feedback. Let me know if you have any questions. Please like this video and subscribe. Click the alert click for alerts every time there's a new video, and don't forget to share with your coworkers, because cooperation is something we can only do together.